talk very briefly about three different things that involve President Joe Biden. The first is I'm talking to you shortly after the release of the Quinnipiac poll, which shows him at 33% approval, which verges on catastrophic. And when you look at the other numbers in the poll, 25% approval among independents, 28% approval among Latinos, something like 24% approval among young Americans. If I were a Democrat, I'd begin to really start to worry. Part of the reason is they are just totally sucked into a left-wing agenda the country doesn't want. Over 80% of the country believes you ought to have a photo identity in order to vote. That would be killed by the bill they're trying to pass. Overwhelmingly, the country's worried about inflation. The Build Back Better bill would add $1.7 trillion of additional money, increasing the money supply, driving up inflation. So they're trapped into a treadmill of things that are unpopular at a time when the president's already down to 33%. Two other observations. For reasons I don't fully understand, Biden can't help being a liar. He got all excited and told this group of civil rights activists that he remembered back when he was arrested.
Seems like yesterday, the first time I got arrested. Anyway.
Well, the Washington Post, for the second time, by the way, he did this earlier, for the second time, the Washington Post investigated, came back and gave him 4 Pinocchios, which is the most you can get, saying it's just plain not true. And you have to wonder, what's going on in his head that he keeps making up things that are total falsehoods. The other thing that I think is fascinating, and my daughter Jackie Cushman just wrote a column and included this. I didn't piece it together till I read Jackie's column. The 3 bad people that he contrasted and said we don't want to be like them, implying that Republicans were like them, included Bull Connor, the police chief in Birmingham, who was made famous by a Newsweek cover of a police dog barking at and almost biting a young girl, Jefferson Davis, who was the head of the Confederacy, and George Wallace, who was the segregationist governor of Alabama. And as Jackie pointed out in her column, all 3 are Democrats. So the 3 people that Biden warned Republicans not to be like are in fact all Democrats, and it's his party's tradition of segregation and slavery, not the Republican Party. The Republican Party was founded as the party of freedom. I think it's that kind of thing, the combination of mismanagement of the economy, looking very weak and incompetent in foreign policy, and pursuing issues that most Americans oppose. All those are becoming, I think, a huge hurricane of negative consequence which could really shape the 2022 election.